Dear students, I, Mr. Vishal Shah, Assistant Professor, Krishna Institute of Pharmacy, Karad, once again welcome you all to this session on the pharmaceutical analysis. In this video, we are going to cover about the sources of impurities. In previous video, we have covered with the different types of pharmacopoeia and what is the meaning of impurity. So we have just covered what is the meaning of impurity. Now next part that we are going to study is sources of impurities, means from where the different impurities are incorporated into the pharmaceutical substances. That is nothing but the sources of impurities. So if you have not watched my previous videos, please watch my previous videos related to the pharmaceutical analysis also. And if you like the content of this my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos and share with your friends. So let's begin with our today's session on the sources of impurities. Before that, just we will see what are the learning outcomes of this session, means what you should understand after watching this video. After this session, students will be able to explain the different sources of impurities. So let's study one by one which are the different sources of impurities that are present in the pharmaceutical substances. Actually, there are various sources by which impurities are entered or incorporated in a given pharmaceutical substance, and they can be easily compiled from the knowledge of raw materials employed, manufacturing process and the stability of the final product. So three major sources due to which impurities are incorporated into pharmaceutical substances is raw materials that is employed during the manufacturing. Then the manufacturing process that we are going to use, because in manufacturing process we are going to use different containers, different processes, different machines. So during that, sometimes impurities may be incorporated into that particular our final product. And during the stability of the final product, stability means during the storage, because we are going to store our pharmaceutical substance into the different containers, and for longer duration of time our final product is in contact with our container. So sometimes due to the containers also impurities are incorporated into our pharmaceutical substances. Now impurities may arise from the physical contamination in improper storage condition. Physical contamination means what? There will be for long time there is a contact of your final product with the certain material, and if from that material, either it may be a container, it might be vessels that are used for the manufacturing. If certain impurities are incorporated due to this physical contact, then that type of contamination is known as the physical contamination and improper storage conditions. Now, the various sources of impurities that are present in the pharmaceutical substances are as follows. First one is raw materials that is employed in the manufacturing of the pharmaceutical substance. Now, as we know, every pharmaceutical substance is either isolated from the natural source or it is synthesized from the chemical starting materials. Now, if that pharmaceutical substance is synthesized from the chemical process, then what we are going to do? Actually, we are going to combine the A product, that is known as the starting material, with the B starting material, and we are going to convert it to the C, that is the final product. So always these substances are synthesized from two or more different starting materials incorporating reagents also. So due to this is the most common way in which the impurities are incorporated into pharmaceutical substance, because what happens if the reaction is incomplete, some amount of starting material is present as such in our final product, or if that particular product is isolated from natural sources like mineral, plants, animals, microbes, they definitely consisting of certain impurities. So these are the most common sources Means if the starting material is not a pure, then definitely that particular impurity is automatically coming into our final product. And that's why I am saying that this is the most common way in which, due to which there is impurities are incorporated into our final product. So it is very essential to verify or identify the source material and to establish its quality. Otherwise, impurities associated with the raw materials may be carried out through the manufacturing process and they will contaminate our final product. So as I said, we have to confirm whether whatever the starting material that we are going to use, we have to identify their source, as well as we have to identify whether they are completely pure or not, and if they are impure, then we don't have to use that particular products. Otherwise, what happens, whatever the impurities that are associated with the raw materials, they may be carried out as such in our final product, and our final products may get contaminated. That's why we have to assure that the raw materials are free from the impurities, so that we can reduce the chances of impurities that are incorporated due to the raw materials. Minerals are the mostly occurs either in the impure form or mixed with the closely related substances. For example, barium and magnesium impurities are found in the calcium minerals, because calcium, barium, magnesium, they are closely associated with each other, because they all are the divalent minerals are there, or divalent cations are there. So they are as closely associated with each other. Calcium minerals that are used for the manufacturing of this different dosage form may consisting of a barium and magnesium as impurities. So if such a samples are utilized as such during the manufacturing process, then the calcium minerals will be having a barium and a magnesium as impurities. Similarly, bromides and iodides, which are often associated with the chlorides. So if we are going to use the chlorides like NaCl, then definitely they are consisting of a bromides or the iodides as impurities. So we have to take care while we are going to use such a type of a compounds that they must be free from different associated minerals that are present in the form of the impurities. Then rock salt. Rock salt, that is used for the preparation of the sodium chloride, which is contaminated with the small amount of calcium and a magnesium chlorides. Here, just in this example, we have seen that how it is our choice of interested product or starting material is contaminated with the different cations. But here you can see our rock salt is contaminated with calcium and magnesium chlorides, which are the products. So that sodium chloride, if it is prepared from rock salt as such, that definitely consisting of trace amount of calcium and magnesium compounds as impurities. So we have to avoid such a situations in which starting material we have to carry out the purification of that starting material. Then next point, due to which the impurities are incorporated into our final product, is method that is used for the manufacturing. So the process or method that we are going to use for the manufacturing of any compound may introduce a new impurities into the final product. Now in previous slide we have seen the impurities that are associated with our raw materials. So if we carry out the purification of the raw material, then we can avoid the incorporation of impurities, because in that case impurities were present already in our that starting materials. But here this situation is different, where during the method of manufacturing new impurities are incorporated, but in previous case already impurities were there and they will be coming into our final product if the starting material is not purified. But here due to the method of manufacturing that is used, they may incorporate a new type of impurities into the final product, and they are due to the contamination by the reagents, catalyst and solvents that are employed at the various stages of the manufacturing process. So along with the starting material, during the manufacturing process, we are going to use different reagents like acids, alkalis, other reagents, oxidants, reductants. Then we also, to speed up the reaction, we are going to use the catalyst and different solvents. So different impurities may be incorporated due to the presence of or due to the use of this particular reagents, catalyst as well as the solvents during the various stages of the manufacturing process. The new impurities may also arise from the reaction vessels as well as the reaction intermediates. So method of manufacturing involves incorporation of impurities by two ways, either by use of reagents, catalyst or the solvents, or due to the presence or use of reaction vessels as well as the reaction intermediates. Now first we will discuss about the reagents employed in the manufacturing process. For example, calcium carbonate, which is consisting of a soluble alkali as impurities, which may arise from the sodium carbonate that is used in the process. So if the calcium carbonate is prepared by the interaction of a soluble calcium salt with the soluble carbonate, so therefore the final product, that is the calcium carbonate, is liable to contain small amount of soluble alkalis as a impurities, which are not removed by the washing process. So whatever this calcium carbonate that we are going to use for the production of our final product, that already consisting of a soluble alkali as a impurities. So this is the reagent that is to be employed in the manufacturing process. So if this calcium carbonate is prepared by the interaction of a soluble calcium salt with the soluble carbonate, then therefore the final product is liable to contain the small amount of a soluble alkali, and which are not removed by the washing process, and due to which they may be coming as a such in our final product. So for example, here you can see calcium chloride plus sodium carbonate. Sorry, here it gives this 2 moles of a NaCl. So definitely if we are going to use the formation of this NaCl, definitely the whatever the soluble alkalis that are present as impurities in the sodium carbonate, they may come as such in our final product. So that particular product or the precipitate is soluble into our water. Like then anions like chlorine and sulfate are common impurities in many substances because of the use of hydrochloric acid and the sulfuric acid respectively in the processing. These are the most commonly used reagents during the synthesis of any product, and they are consisting of chlorides and sulfate. So they are present as impurities. So if hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, if we are going to use the manufacturing process, definitely our final product is consisting of the chlorides and the sulfides as impurities in our final product. Then barium is usually used in the preparation of the potassium bromide to remove the sulfate, which is in turn arise from the bromine that is used in the process. So usually barium is used for the preparation of a potassium bromide to remove the sulfate. So to remove the sulfate from the potassium bromide, we are going to use the barium, so which in turn arise from the bromine that is used in the process. So sulfates are present as impurities in the bromine, and to remove that sulfate we are going to use the barium. So it is likely that potassium bromide will now be contaminated by the traces of the barium. So here what we have done, we have used this particular barium to remove the sulfate that is present in the bromine. But whatever the potassium bromide that we have prepared from the bromine, it is likely to contain the barium as impurities, as a trace amount of impurities. So these are the various ways by which impurities are incorporated into our final product.